5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Prepare to launch. Clear for turbo.
Yo, what's up everybody? It's the Darkitect, and today we're going to talk about a game-changing feature that was recently released in FL Studio 21.2, stem separation. So one of the most frequently created types of music in today's landscape is remixes, aka flips, of popular songs and samples from the past zeitgeist, where producers take elements of other songs and they use them to make a new production that they can put their own individual spin on it. And these go really big in the club right now. Gives producers the instant recognizability of the source music to be able to draw in listeners, while at the same time they get an opportunity to make a fresh, exciting new take on a song that's popular, and it gives them a chance to showcase their unique production style. So in the past, when we wanted to make these kinds of tracks, remixes, we had to find an acapella, we had to find, the vocals and things like that to be able to bring those different elements in without just bringing in the entire original track. That's not a remix, that's the original track. So sometimes we would look for hours on the internet just trying to find, acapellas and stuff like that. Other times we would use whatever software was available to extract the stems. Some of it was okay, some of it still left a lot to be desired. It was not that great. And luckily for FL Studio users, we now have stem separation right within FL Studio. And the beautiful thing about it is it's one of the best on the market that I've seen, bar none, as far as extracting clean stems from the original full track, all instruments and everything mixed together, and being able to extract out the drums, the bass, the instruments, etc., so that you can go ahead and get started on doing a remix. So today we're going to talk about that stem separation or stem extraction function in FL Studio. And at the end of this video, if you're having any trouble with stem separation, mastering, any of the new features that were just added to FL Studio and FL Cloud in FL Studio 24, you're going to want to watch this video to the end, because I am going to go into some troubleshooting for commonly seen errors and things like that in stem separation. So if you're having trouble, skip to the end of this video, or you can use the timestamp to go to where it says troubleshooting, and I get into some of the troubleshooting for the commonly seen issues with stem separation. But for everybody else, let's go ahead and get into it right now. Let's see this new feature in action. Alright, so we can see here, so if you want to extract a stem, basically you're going to have to start with the original full song, and that's usually what we have. What you're going to download from the MP3 services, etc., is the entire song. No producer really is going to sell just the vocals or things like that for the most part, unless it's like a remix competition or something like that. But in most cases, you're going to have the entire song, and you're going to need to extract the vocals. Maybe you want to extract the other elements and instruments and things like that from the song to be able to do the remix. So in this case, we're going to use this track from a female rapper, 070 Shake, and this song is called Cocoon. The reason why we're going to use this one, I actually did a full flip on this already. So I've used the stem extractor to extract the vocals from the song, and then I just made my own drum and bass tune from that. But here for this example, we're going to go ahead and pull in the full track. Okay, so I pulled in the full track for this. What I'm going to do now is I just want to sample this out so we can see what the whole song sounds like together. And then we'll get into the stem extraction portion. So this is sort of what the song sounds like, the complete composition which is what we're going to extract the stems from. So you can see that we have like dreamy vocals there with sort of reverb effect on it. You know, we got the drums, the bass, a lot of elements there brought together in the chorus or in the you know, that part of the song. So we're going to want to extract out the vocals so I can make it into my own sort of composition. So to do that in FL Studio, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the contextual menu. So you can do this all within the playlist too. It's super easy to use. You just go to the menu for the clip that you want to extract the samples from by clicking that little waveform in the upper left corner. And then I'm going to go down to the option here that says extract stems from sample. Now here we have this pop-up window. It's basically asking us which stems we want to extract, because, and keep in mind that the extraction is actually a pretty CPU intensive process. You're using AI to extract vocals from a track that's already constructed, so it does take a lot of CPU. So make sure that you don't have too many programs in the background while you're doing this extraction. Also, just extract what you need from the actual track. So like in this case, I just used drums and vocals. Those are the only two elements of the original track that I wanted to use. So I just did those two. You can, of course, extract drums, bass, vocals, and the instruments all as separate tracks. And you know, whatever you need from the original, just go ahead and select those options here. And then another important option is where it says when done. I don't know how important this is necessarily, but it's basically how you would like FL Studio to treat the original files when it's done with the extraction. So when it's done with the extraction, the option that I use is mute source clip, because that just mutes the original full audio clip that I extracted the stems from. It just mutes the clip itself, not the track. So I don't have to worry about if I had any other regions on that track. It literally will just mute that individual region or audio clip. You can also do mute source track. So here you can see that we have the original track on track number 5. If I selected that option, it would mute track number 5 when it's done with the extraction, and then below I would have the extracted files. Or you can choose do nothing, and that just basically means you'd have the original region you extracted these stems from and the stems all there, nothing muted. So then you could go ahead and proceed with working on the track as you see fit. So again, I'm going to choose mute source clip. That's my option that I usually go with. And let's go ahead and extract this. So again, you're going to want to make sure you give yourself anywhere from like 2 to 10 minutes for the extraction process to take place, and make sure you don't have too many things running in the background as far as programs and applications. It can, you know, it's a pretty CPU intensive process. So just kind of let it run. And we're going to do that now. Alright, so the stem extraction has been done. Now we have the original track, and like I selected the mute source track option, just the original source track is muted here. So, and then I have my drums and my vocals stems broken out here. So again, let's just go ahead and listen to the original track and just hear what that sounds like. Alright, and then now let's go ahead and listen to the stems that FL Studio extracted, starting with the drums. Alright, so you can see with those drums tracks, it's clean. There's no bleed through for other elements. There's no bass. It's really clean drum tracks that this AI has extracted. And then we have the vocals. And you can hear, even though these vocals have effects on it, it did just pull the vocals. We don't have any bleed through of drums, bass, instruments. It is a very clean vocal track, so I can go ahead and get started on remixes and flips, things of that nature, basically right out the gate. So As you can see, the FL Studio stem extraction or stem separation feature is huge. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait to hear what producers come out with using the stem extractor, because now it's like any song that's out there can basically be put in there and we can hear good quality remixes of it. So again, if you're having any problems, if you are having issues with stem separation in FL Studio, stay tuned. At the end of this video, in another few seconds, I'm going to go into some troubleshooting to help walk you guys through any problems that you're having with stem separation, mastering, etc. in FL Studio. So stay tuned for the end of this video if you're having problems. If not, enjoy yourself. I hope you're enjoying stem separation. See you next time here with the Darkitect Drum Slinger Audio Production. Peace. Yo, what's up everybody? It's the Darkitect, and I'm about to talk about troubleshooting right now. The new features that we've had come out in FL Studio, which is stem separation, declipping, mastering, and FL Cloud. So if you're running into a problem with stem separation, mastering, or declipping, an error message specifically, I want to talk about the error messages first, because that's separate from the other problem of not being able to master or use stem separation because you don't have the correct version of FL Cloud or FL Studio. Those are two separate issues. So start with error messages. So if let's say you're running a master or you're running a stem separation, and bam, right when you hit the execute button, for whatever reason, it's coming up with an error message in FL Studio telling you that you can't do this because either there's a corrupted or missing file or anything that's an error pop-up message, and then you can't go forward. So for a lot of these issues, they're actually fixed directly in FL Studio, and there's an easy way that you can repair these. So to do that, first thing to start with is to go to the options menu and go to file settings. Alright, and then once you're in file settings, you go all the way to the bottom and you'll see this little bar that says troubleshooting. Click that down arrow to expand it, and then you will see these three buttons here. First one, repair optional features. That's going to be the button that we're going to start with. So those are the optional features, which are declipping, mastering, stem separation, and now the new FL Cloud plugins. So what this does, clicking this button, it's going to reinstall the latest updated version of each one of those features, so that next time you open up FL Studio, you'll have the newest versions. It'll be actually a new download. So for the most part, any of those issues that you have, because a lot of times when you're seeing the error messages, it's because the initial installation was corrupted, or perhaps some of the files that the applications depend on were moved, or there's another kind of an issue that can happen, your system. So if that happened, it corrupts the file and bam, you can't master anymore. But one thing you can do is go repair the optional features, and a lot of times that's going to fix those issues that you have with the pop-up messages. Alright, so if you do that and you're still running into the same issue, or if the issue that you're running into is it's telling you during mastering, you're on FL Cloud free, and you're actually paying for a monthly plus or pro membership, or if you're seeing another kind of an error where you believe that you've either purchased an FL Studio license and for whatever reason you're not able to use the feature because it's showing that you're not registered with that license, this next part's more for you. And also, if you're having an issue with FL Cloud, in which issues with FL Cloud for the most part can be resolved with going to, let's just take a look. Alright, so the next part I want to cover is if you're having an issue with FL Cloud, if for whatever reason it's not loading correctly, if you notice any kind of problem with the graphical user interface, if you're running into any kind of weirdness with FL Cloud, including if it's not letting you log in, if you're logging in incorrectly. I'm going to cover those issues now. So these other two buttons here that we were talking about earlier, reset browser cache and reset FL Cloud cache. If you're having any kind of a problem with FL Cloud, you want to make sure that you're running these two. The browser cache refers to the cache of the browser that FL Cloud uses as its host to be able to run. So resetting that browser cache can fix a lot of those problems that you run into with that. So if you're seeing any kind of a weirdness over here, if you can't click on other screens, make sure you reset browser cache, and importantly as well, reset FL Cloud cache. So when you do that, you should see the FL Cloud window reloads. And yeah, so that actually reset the entire cache file for FL Cloud, so you're starting fresh with that. Alright, so for this next part, I wanted to address fixing some of the errors that you might see in the FL Cloud window. So one thing that a lot of people are trying to do is be able to log in again, because once you open up FL Studio, it automatically logs you into the last instance of FL Cloud, and it's pretty hard to actually reach the initial login page where you can enter your email address and password. So this is for those users that need to be able to log in again. Alright, so if you're having a problem and it's already logged in, of course, you don't know how to get back into the login, we're going to close out FL Studio in this case. And what we're going to do is open up the File Explorer in Windows, and then we're going to go to this location on our computer, which is Documents, Image Line, FL Studio, Settings. And once you're there, you're going to see this folder that's called Edge. Alright, I'm going to right click on that folder, and we are just going to delete that folder completely. Alright, and don't worry about deleting that folder. It is an essential folder for FL Cloud and all of the web-based elements in FL Studio. So every time you open FL Studio, if it notices that that folder is missing, it'll recreate a fresh version of that folder and subsequently ask you to log back into FL Cloud because logins were kept there. So in doing that, deleting that Edge folder, you're forcing the instance of FL Cloud to reload, and also again you'll be asked for your username and password. If this is your first time using FL Studio or FL Cloud, there's also going to be a dialog there where you can sign in or sign up. Since we already have an account in this case, for most users that are probably looking at this video, we're gonna bypass the main part of this dialog that pops up here, and we're gonna say I already have an account, sign in, and right here is going to be where you enter your login details. Now remember, when it comes to FL Cloud, your login details are usually the same as your imageline.com login details. So however you log into imageline.com where you see your FL Studio licenses, that email and password should be the same there. There's also a forgot password link here if you need that. But yeah, this is for those users that need to log in again. Deleting that Edge folder will force that to happen, and you can go ahead and fix your login problems hopefully that way. If you have any ongoing issues, make sure that before you contact ImageLine support that you run through all the steps that we just talked about here in the troubleshooting section, because that lets them know that you've already run through some of the steps that they're probably going to have you run through anyway, and it hasn't worked, so you'll get to a resolution for your problem much quicker that way. So anyways, I hope that this was helpful for some users out there that are having problems with FL Studio as far as FL Cloud or stem separation, mastering, declipping. Make sure you run through these 3 steps to re-download those initial features and also reset the cache. That'll fix probably 90% of the problems. You can log in again if you're having that issue. Alright, so yeah, we went through some good stuff today here at Drumslinger Audio Productions. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave us some comments, and again, if you want to get in touch with us, hit us up at the email address and we might address your subject on one of the shows. So again, Darkitect for Drumslinger Audio. Peace out. See you next time.
Why is it shouldn't